Hey, it's JP. In just over 2 weeks from recording this video, I am going to be out on the Great Plains chasing storms. I thought this would be a great opportunity to see how the models are starting to put this all together, because today is a great day to try to figure out how Mother Nature thinks. So I've been interested in severe weather since I was a little kid.
I'm watching this thunderstorm roll in. I love it when it's all centralized into a cluster of clouds.
Smile at somebody, just smile, and then it'll make the world a better place.
I have been chasing severe weather for a long while, plus my aviation studies, of course, there's a lot of weather involved when it comes to aviation. 5 years or so ago, I started going out on the Great Plains once a year to do some honest-to-goodness storm chasing. I chase solo, I'm learning as I go, and I am always fascinated by the way Mother Nature works. In this episode, I'll show you how I've been looking at weather models to kind of figure out roughly where I'm going to be and how I determined which airport I would fly to for this chase coming up in mid-May. Alright, so the basics first. I have a couple of ground rules when it comes to chasing storms. I don't chase at night.
This is why I don't chase storms after dark.
I prefer to chase storms west of I-35, and that would be along to the west of this line. We start around San Antonio, go up towards Dallas, Tulsa, go right along the border with Arkansas, Kansas City. I don't like chasing Des Moines, but then I do enjoy chasing north of that line there. I don't like chasing in terrain where I can't see the storms when they're way off. And I just find it hard to navigate around trees and hills and all that stuff. If I don't know what that storm is doing, I'm not gonna go near that storm. Honestly, I like capturing a storm from about 2 miles away. I don't need to be right up in there getting blown around like Dorothy. I prefer to get a nice view of the supercell, get lightning shots. Lightning shots are my favorite. And of course, if there's a tornado, I do like to get a nice view of the tornado, but I don't need to get whipped around by the tornado. In years past, I've paid for a lot of different websites that promise the best models and all that. This year have been focused solely on the College of DuPage website, and specifically this far out, I've been looking at the long range model from the CFS version 2. So taking a look at that. So our last run of this model was on the 23rd at 12 Zulu, so noon in Great Britain, for lack of a better. And of course, we're looking at the continuous United States. And there's 4 things that we look at for this. The first thing that I look at is the supercell composite. Now, this is not going to tell me where every single tornado is going to be. It's going to put together an ensemble of different data points as to where a supercell could generate itself. What I do is, so my first day out there is going to be Friday the 9th. So I go to Saturday the 10th at 0 Zulu, or midnight in Great Britain. Subtract 5 hours for Central Time, subtract 6 hours for Mountain Time. So I always start at 0, figuring that would be the afternoon, evening of the day before. And looking at this right now, we have not much of a potential on Friday. We got a little bit of yellow there, but if we then slide ahead to Sunday, okay, we've got a little bit more on Oklahoma and southern Kansas. We slide ahead to Monday, we start getting a little bit more potential. Again, not huge red colors, we're still only in the orange. Moving ahead to Tuesday of my trip, Okay, now we're getting two spots where we could be. We could be either in western Oklahoma or we could be in eastern Kansas and Missouri. Then we move over a little bit more, looking at Wednesday. Now we're starting to see some showtime. It looks like there is a chance that Omaha, Nebraska, northeast Kansas, northwest Missouri, southwest Iowa could see some supercells. Again, this is all just a model. It is not a forecast. Looking at Thursday, it's starting to wane a little bit and things are moving eastward. Okay, Oklahoma, just west of Oklahoma City. Saturday's model, which is Friday evening, because then I need to start heading back to Arizona on Saturday. You'll see that, okay, across most of Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas. Favorite areas, Altus, Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma, Elk City, that area where I chased last year. We started seeing a little bit of a supercell composite saying, hey, it looks like right now, the way the models are looking, it looks like there might be a little bit of supercell potential in that area. Again, it is not a forecast. It is just the model saying, hey, it looks like maybe things will work out in that area for you. The next thing we look at is the CAPE. The CAPE stands for Convective Available Potential Energy. And what that is basically how much energy could be in these areas where the supercell composite is saying there could be supercells to help fuel, bring conditions, bring some fuel to that supercell potential. Now I switched from supercell composite to surface-based CAPE here, and I'm still on Friday afternoon or Saturday Zulu. So what I'll do now is I'll start sliding backwards because I'm just lazy like that. I'm sliding back to Tuesday, which will be Monday afternoon for me. Here we got crazy amount of CAPE. Let's look at the supercell composite again. So this area on the eastern side of Kansas, there is the potential of having some pretty impressive weather in that area. I will definitely be in that part if it all pans out like that. It looks like it's going to. Other things we want to look at is we want to look at the 500 millibar wind speed. Again, we're going to be moving forward, and that's basically showing what the winds are going to be like roughly around 18,000 feet mean sea level, which is where the flight levels begin, by the way. So right now, winds are going to be pretty low, low-ish, I should say. They're going to be in the 40s and 50 knot range on Friday afternoon. Let's move to Saturday afternoon. Winds are going to be pretty quiet, so that has me thinking that I'm not going to be doing as much. Wednesday, we're starting to show wind speeds up a little bit again. And then the next thing we look at is at 850 millibars, which is around 6,000 feet mean sea level, roughly. We look at the temperature because we want to see how much of the surface temperature and what the temperature is there, because you know it's warmer, if it's a little bit moist, that sort of thing, that's always going to help the storms juice along a little bit. So it looks like on Thursday afternoon, I'm going to fly into Denver. I'm going to get a rental car, and again, rental car is fully insured, by the way, and my goal is to not hurt the rental car. In fact, I make more of an effort not to hurt the rental car than not to hurt me. What I do is, as I said, I like to stay a good ways away from the storm so I can get some awesome photos. I'll probably experience some incredible winds, and then if a tornado does pass through, I tend to come up behind it to see if anybody needs help from the tornado passing through. So to recap, there's 4 things that I'm looking at. I am looking at the supercell composite and at the CAPE. The composite, pulling together all sorts of factors to see if there could be the potential of supercells there. CAPE, think of that as the available energy that could help feed a supercell should a supercell decide to do its thing. I look at the temperature at the 850 millibar level, which is around 6,000 feet. I want to see how much, hopefully, moist heat is in there to help juice the storm along. And then the 500 millibar, I look at the wind speed and to see if there's going to be enough wind shear, enough wind to make those updrafts to start pushing heat up into the atmosphere so that it can start churning away to do its whole tornado thing. So I will keep you up to date with future episodes, and then once I get out there, I'll probably make a bunch of videos while I'm out on the road, I'm hoping, unless I'm too busy chasing storms. And then when I get back, I will be making episodes like I did last year. I appreciate you following my channel and following along with this adventure. If you have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you. And remember, the world is awesome, And there's a lot of magic out there in the world. So if you get the chance, go out there and experience it. And when you get it, share it with your friends. Have a great day. See ya.